Shoulder.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Circle of Besties. This is Jen Newman. Back for another Tarot Tuesday. And to start us off, I shuffled every single one of the decks that I'm using today. And while I was shuffling from the Good Tarot, which is by Colette Baron Reid, we had the Ace of Earth come out. So if anybody is in search of something new, a job, an offer, it could be anything material, a home. My mind went right to something that's going to be offered new in work. So whatever you do for a living, or if you have home projects or anything that you're thinking about starting or inviting in, it's on its way. And also, I do love the imagery in this deck, and has a beautiful deer, and you'll see that they're standing on top of a mountain. So that to me symbolizes overcoming some obstacles in order to be ready to accept what comes next. Sun is shining on them from behind, so amplifying the readiness and the glow. And then they have butterflies around their antlers, just showing that they're grounded and in the energy of the earth, ready to move forward. So,
We're having some technical difficulties.
Are we?
Sorry for the technical difficulties. We are back on air.
Thanks to my tech crew here at that homestead. I'm going to turn down my phone so there's no reverberation. Trying to watch the chat from two different sides. Okay. What I was saying before, I think I was on mute, is welcome back, Ross. Thank you for joining. So I'll just repeat quickly what I had mentioned before, that I have a number of new decks, or new to you decks, not new to me, but I brought out all, a number of different decks in case we wanted to clarify during our readings with just to get extra detail. So I brought them all out and I shuffled them before the live opened up. And the one that popped out was the Ace of Earth. So this is a new opportunity, a new job, a new house, a new offer, something material. It could be a lottery win. It could be a number of different things that are coming to you, but something that's new and something that's, pretty impressive. So the art here, I really enjoy it. It's, I guess it's a stag, because it has antlers on top of a mountain. So that just symbolizes overcoming obstacles, being ready for the challenge, whatever is coming next. It's something that you're prepared for and excited about, but you're very grounded. I think the energy here is, so if it were wands and Ace of Wands, it would be excitement, or, just sort of like passionate excitement. If it was water, it would be emotional fulfillment. If it were, or cups are water. And if it were swords, it would be, a new truth, an epiphany, something that, involves a lot of thought process, something that's very logical, black and white, but something that's new and incoming. So Ace of Earth, the earth energy speaks to, how we feel, soul connection to the earth. So being grounded, how you have people say, they feel calm, ready, grounded. This is that energy. So again, you'll see that So a deer for me, I actually, the next pull I'm going to do is from the Animal Spirit deck, also by Colette Baron Reed. And the reason I love this card so much is because I attribute, so anytime I see a stag, I think of my grandfather, who was, a pioneer, somebody who didn't even graduate high school. His father died when he was 15, and he had to quit school, go to work, and take care of, his, I think he had 4 or 5 siblings younger than him. And so he went to work, eventually met my grandmother. They both figured out, he figured out how to build houses. My grandmother forced him to get a real estate broker's license. She got a real estate broker's license, and they created a business that, lasted, it supported my entire family for generations. And, my grandmother died, 2 years ago at 100 years old, and her 4 children were still able to receive a significant inheritance, so that's all from the power of someone like my grandfather. So, so this reminds me of him and that energy of just being a fighter, but doing it for family, doing it, like anything that you're motivated in life to build, like as far as material goods, again, family, home, job, money, all those things. It's for your family. It's for your future generations. So I'm going to leave this here right on the back. I don't know if I think we could see it in the back here, but that's just the overall energy, I think, for tonight's pull. All right. So I'm going to be pulling from this deck here, which is awesome. It's the Spirit Animal Oracle. And, let's see if we can pull another overall energy. See what we got. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Also, just remind me of what your astrology sign is. That just gives me a little bit of foresight into how to read the cards, so to cater it more to you. Okay. Sorry, I am off camera shuffling, but okay. Oh, we got 2. All right. So the first one we have here is the Frog Spirit. Clear out the clutter. Okay. This is something I've been talking about, or in my head, talking to myself about for the past couple of weeks. But the past 7 weeks have been wild for me. I have been finishing up grad school. So as of today, I am all done. My grades are being uploaded online, and I'm just waiting for those final grades. And then I'll be graduating with a master's in business management on March 12th. So, but one thing I do need to do is, is organize my home, organize my mind, organize our lives. And so here we have the Frog Spirit. The number is 28. So this could be, if that has any significance to you. It also could be 2 or 8. We're in a life path 8 year. So, big things are going to be happening this year. And then also I add them. 2 + 8 is 10. So a number of different numbers there for you to reference if that's something that you like to pay attention to. But clear out the clutter. I don't know if you noticed this, but my eye went right to it. I don't know if any of you when you were young. So I was, I was a child before the internet was around to entertain us day and night. And my cousins and I used to walk through the woods. We had, we actually lived near my grandfather, who was a builder. And he had a bunch of acres at the end of this road. And we would just walk all over it, in our spare time. And one of the things we love to do in the spring is to go and find little ponds where there were frogs and then pollywogs. So we would see that the frogs would have these sacks, and they would sort of be like stuck to different rods. And then we'd come back a week later, and then there would be all these little pollywogs floating around. So this to me just says, when you clear out the clutter, try to figure out what motivates you, what pushes you forward in life. And, like the story about my grandfather, what do you want to leave behind? What's your legacy? When your grandkids are telling stories about you, what do you want their main takeaway to be? Like, what's your legacy? So, again, another reference to generations here. So the frog spirit and then the frog hold and the sack pollywogs, at least in my mind, that's how I'm interpreting it. So, another thing to think about. We did have one more come out, so I'm going to do that next. I'm just going to check the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything good. Okay. Yeah, Ross, I'm just reading your comment about the love life. Honestly, I think, as far as the cards we've already pulled, we can just take an overall theme. It's just got to really focus on, bigger picture and next steps. So like before you even meet the person that's coming in, really understand what you want to take away from it. And that way, when there are, huge waving green flags, you're ready to push forward. And it's not something you have to sit back and think about. You already know, but this also works for red flags. But I'm going to pull some cards for you specifically, and then we'll talk more about that. Let me just finish up with this this other animal spirit card that came forward for the overall energy for the reading, for all the readings. And that's the number 3. So I know that the number 3 has great significance in our family. Again, another grandfather coming into play. My husband's father, Nono, that was our loving name for him. So his name was Ray, and my son was named for him. He loved Dale Earnhardt Sr., who drove the black 3 car. So in NASCAR. So that's a significant number for us. The armadillo spirit is to set healthy boundaries. Okay. So this is something that we can also apply to what we've already been talking about. And when I think about an armadillo, I think about their hard shell and their soft interior, right? And so, we really have to be ready for battle. But it says set healthy boundaries. So what do we mean by that? As far as, really understanding who you are as a person, what you want to get out of life, the goals that you need to set. Again, being ready for the moment where these things pop up and you already sort of have an idea of what you're looking for. So, as those flags appear, the green or the red, you just know, what you need and what you don't need. And then you can make decisions in that moment to, gracefully carry forward or back away. It doesn't have to be, no feelings hurt. When you know yourself and you're confident and, everything's done in good faith and you can communicate that, it creates an energy that's just very friendly and very, everybody's like, ready to help each other out and whatever that. So, you're moving forwards as more than friends, or you're deciding that friends is where you are. Maybe you help each other find that more than friends person. Okay, so I'll put that up here. If anybody has any questions about what these cards are back here, you can put that in the chat, and we'll just take another glance at them, make them a little bit more obvious. Bring them up to the camera again. But yeah, pretty interesting. Okay, we put that deck away. All right. All right, Ross. Oh yeah. Good time. I just saw your note, and yes, my father-in-law was born on March 3rd. So 3-3. We got another 3. He loved Dale Sr., who was driving the 3 car. So let's just say that, anytime we see a 3, we think a no for sure. Same thing with me. So if you have a number that can be assigned from your, I call it your spirit squad. So, those, your ancestors in heaven that are always around you, your angels, your spirit guides, if they can give you signs and symbols and things that you recognize. So if you say, so my birthday is 11/11, just like Nona's is 3/3. So whenever I see 11/11, that's also known as a twin flame number, or, it can equate to 4, but, and they always say, make a wish, 11/11. So that's something that I'm always looking for, but I just see it anyway. But if you can sort of say in your mind, okay, whenever I see the number 18, I'll know that it means this. So you can kind of create your own little language with your your spirit squad, and then have it mean different things. So like sometimes I hear a really loud pitch noise. I always hear a really loud pitch noise in my ear. So if it's in my left ear, I know it means that there's something important I need to pay attention to in my immediate surroundings. If I hear it on the other ear, it's a confirmation or a validation. If I sometimes I get like tingles like on my legs, like in different parts of my leg. So I'm trying to work out in my spirit squad, because I noticed that when you notice patterns and you notice it happening, hopefully it's not like a drooping face or pain in your in your arm, then you go to a hospital. But I'm saying like high pitched noises and tingles, you can create a language with your spirit squad. And if it helps you, write it down, and that way you remember when it does happen again. Oh yeah, what does it mean when I get that high pitched noise in my left ear? Oh, it means this to me. So, and then you'll just start to be able to move forward and sort of have this secret little language with your spirit squad. Okay, Ross. Okay, so this is a new deck I'm using. It's actually nice because it has like every meaning that this card could ever have. So it's temperance. So you'll see that that's, it's an angel pouring water between two cups, and they have 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the earth. So we know that with a foot on the earth, that means staying grounded. And then a foot in the water is water equals emotion. So understand your emotions while staying on the planet Earth, if you get the meaning there. And then being able to regulate your emotions is the pouring of the cups back and forth. And then you'll also notice, sorry, there's glare, but the angel in this photo has a very, a glowing halo and a very bright third eye going. So it does it signifies balance, patience, meditation, being calm, self-control, cooperating with others and finding solutions. So let's just say that this isn't a my way or the highway card. This is I'm looking to partner and be aware of my surroundings. So they have a I'm sorry, what? I don't know what that means. Oh, my son is trying to give me hand signals and I don't understand it. Okay, so what it means is that, so an affirmation whenever you get this card is, I can manage my needs and resources wisely to create harmony. So it's a positive card. It's going to just start our story for you, Ross. Okay. All right. I'm getting notes from my team here. Okay. So the challenge is, the challenge to having balance, patience, moderation, self-control, cooperating with others, and finding solutions is, so this is the Six of Wands. So I'm going to tell you what it says on the card that it means. Success, victory, achievement, pride, recognition, improvement, rewards, praise, and acclaim. So this is also, we have 2 fire cards. I don't know if you can see in the corner here of each one. Fire, fire. Yes, yes. They're both Jupiter cards. So, but this first one is relates to the heart chakra. The second one relates to the solar plexus. And so for me, this is also a Leo card. So I'm reading a little bit more into, okay, right. Thank you. I'm reading a little bit more into the story here. So like, as far as temperance, the solar plexus for me is your self-worth, your self-confidence, how you put yourself out into the world. So, really being okay with you before you move forward, looking in search of someone else is, this is key. I kept saying it over and over earlier, but it's coming loud and clear through your since this is a more personal reading for you specifically. And then, as far as, we have the Six of Wands, and then this being related to a heart chakra. We're going to have to, it's just saying to me wounded pride and like a broken heart. So I think that you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very like you when you're in love or when you're in a great relationship, in your opinion, it's like, you're on top of the world and like everything, it's almost like head in the clouds, not in a way where you're not, where you're oblivious or not aware of other things. It's just, I think you just love being in that feeling so much that sometimes, so the challenge would be to find balance in that moment when you're in that new relationship and everything's going well, and you sort of, you can be a huge romantic, romantic to, I'm not going to say to a fault, because I don't believe that there can be romance, being romantic to a fault. I just think that, you have to remember yourself in every new relationship. You have to remember goals you've set for yourself. Who do you, what do you see for you, for your family, like down the line, 10, 20 years from now, even the generations from now, like how do you want to be remembered? So, and then the people that you bring into your life that are new have to fit that narrative in some way. Maybe they challenge you and make it an even cooler story, than it was before. So those would be the big green flags, like they challenge you in the right ways. But if, when you're in that puppy love stage, if those red flags start becoming obvious, I think it's just, it'll be a challenge to see them sooner than later before, feelings get hurt, because it's just been, you sort of dive in versus taking slower steps. With slower steps, you have a chance to sort of back away and slow things down. Whereas if you dive in head first, there's no opportunity for that until, people feel like you're committed. I'm going to get some more, I'm going to pull some more cards for you. Okay. Got a couple here. Okay. So, so this is the Eight of Wands, and this is rapid change, gaining momentum, fruits of labor, movement, quick action, air travel, excitement. And again, another fire card. So lots of wands. So this for me just says that, like you love a fiery exchange. You love, like heat, passion, chemistry, great looking women or men or whatever. It's, you love the vibe that comes with that new relationship where everything is like, all systems go. And again, the solar plexus. So this is, about, it can be about ego, but it's also about pride. Like, like if you see yourself with, if you're in a partnership, or even if you're driving around in a car or a truck, or like with your home, or like anything, you want to feel a sense of pride, and you want to feel great about it. You want people to be like, wow, like look at that. Isn't that fantastic? That they're great looking people, or, like just, you have high expectations and high standards, and you want that to be reflected in everything you do, including your relationships. So that's underlying energy to the story that we're telling. It could also mean that something's coming in very quickly, or I don't know if maybe it already has. So, again, it does talk about travel and like quick action. So this might be referring to a relationship that you have had before, or because I did pull it to as supporting energy card. It could be referencing something that's already come about, like you've already had this relationship, or maybe you are starting one. But yeah, again, it's another nod to like really hot and heavy, super quick, super fast, connection. I guess that's the right word. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So, this is the cyclical nature of life. It also means luck, destiny, good fortune, turning points. So, where things might have not been ideal in the past, your luck is changing and the wheel turns and things start going right. So it could be, again, it means decisive moments. We have another fire card. So all these are fire cards. So it just means like, you have to really when you're overwhelmed with excitement or whatever, the adrenaline, those adrenaline pump moments, whenever you find yourself in those moments, you have to remember, you have to stay, even though you're one foot's in the water, and you have to keep the other foot on the ground. You have to stay grounded and just remember who you are and not get too taken away by the moment, or you're going to end up later in a situation where you have to, figure your way out of. You have to be a present decision maker all the way through, even if it is that, just hot and heavy. So the affirmation that this card brings, it says, I can deal with all kinds of difficulties in life calmly. So again, we're talking about staying calm, staying in your head, being a good decision maker, giving into, all that yes, fire energy, understand, allowing yourself, to feel pride in whatever way you need to. But, keeping your head on straight. So that way you're not stuck in a situation that you can't get out of. So the Knight of Pentacles, this is actually a really cool card to come out in conjunction with all this fire. So this is air and earth. So air is logic, black and white decision-making, objective thinking, logical thinking. And then earth is, again, grounded, forward thinking about, all the things material that you might need in order to feel safe. So earth energy is safety, comfort, being in control, just stoicism in a way that is like in defense of, your future legacy, that sort of thing. So with the Knight of Pentacles coming out, it's showing me that, maybe I've helped you, but maybe it's just you've come to a point in your life where you're like, okay, consistency, being practical, being reliable, efficiencies, having patience and a strong will, everything will lead to an improvement in your energy, in your world, in your day-to-day. It's going to help you stay determined, and it'll help you feel like feeling responsible, but in a way that you have made the rules. You made the rules. So now when I say all these things, they don't mean you have to do it in a way that is by, societal rules, standards, the church. You don't have to be a good person or a consistent or a practical or reliable or an efficient person based on anybody else's rule book. So that's why it's important with all this fire that you sit down and say, okay, what's important to me? If I'm to behave in a certain way and I attract other people into my orbit, how do I feel safest? How do I make my family feel safe? If, the kids and your mom or your parents, or, if you have other family members around you and they see you around this new person that you're attracting in, if you're sure about your rules, then they'll be sure about your rules too. Do you understand? I don't know if you know what I mean, but create your own circle of safety. I always say that to my husband. I'm like, hey, you need to create a circle of safety where you feel like emotionally safe, physically safe. You feel like everybody's on the same page. You're communicating well with us. If we were to, we'll just have people understand your heart and what your goals are moving forward. And that way, when anybody comes in, they feel less anxious about getting to know them because they know you've already done the vetting, if that makes sense. You've already, not that this would be an interview for a new relationship, but they know that you've already sort of made sure that they're not going to be chaotic or crazy or dangerous. I mean, my goodness, think of all the things that could happen if you just sort of jump in with somebody you really don't know, and then bring them around your family, and then they're integrated into your world. And then you realize once the fire dies down, we'll call it that, is that you need to get out of this situation and fast, and then have to untangle all of that, those chaotic knots that have been created by bringing somebody in who truly wasn't a fit from the beginning, but they're beautiful and exciting, and all the things that got your fire going. So they check boxes in the moment. So that's where, really just saying, we have to, even though I'm saying create some rules, they don't have to be anybody else's rules but yours. But, have to look at the things that mean the most to you. And then when you're making rules and setting boundaries, like you're thinking of them while you do it. All right. I'm going to pull a rune for you. I'm shuffling off this. I have a deck of cards that have the runes, and I'll show you the rune that I brought out my actual runes, but in order to tell you what they really mean, I wanted to pull a card, and then I'll match it up with the actual rune. Okay. All right. So we have Thurisaz. I'm probably mangling that. So it means the thorn or the hammer. So this rune represents the small trials in life. So it's dedicated to the god Thor, and it contains the double polarity of life and death. So when we think life, we think, like emotion, all the things that we've been talking about, all the different suits. So fire, water, swords, and rods, passion, emotion, thought, and just motivation. So let me pull the actual rune here. Where are you? Here we are. I think this is it. Oh no, this is it. So it's dedicated to the god Thor. Have you ever seen that movie, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? And then they meet the guy, how the little girl that they're babysitting is obsessed with Thor, and then they go to the mechanics. So I'm just thinking of that guy for some reason. But yeah, you don't have to play a role. Here's what I'm thinking. So you don't have to play a role just because you look a certain way and act a certain way, and have always had certain hobbies or things that you stood for and that got you excited, and you're sort of known for that sort of thing. Kind of like, like if you're a celebrity, you have a brand. So I'm thinking, don't get wrapped up in your brand moving forward. Be you, do all the things that get you excited, but don't worry about if how you change to better your life going forward. And that could be on the inside or on the outside. Don't worry about it not fitting your brand. Okay. I feel like that was pretty deep for, what are we, Taco Tuesday now, not Tarot Tuesday? We're now Taco Tuesdays. But let me know what you think. I'm always here if you need me. And all right. Okay, I'm just gonna put some cleaning crystals on those decks to make sure that we pop that energy back into place. And all right, of course. All right. I'm going to pull an oracle card. We're just going to do a general reading while we're on camera. And if you have if any of the cards that I'm talking to make sense to you and you want to ask a question, we can pull extra clarifiers to see if we get any good details out of them. But I'm just going to do a general for now. All right. And then if anybody on the chat or somebody, if you've already asked a question on the chat and you're with others that want to ask a question, you can just type it in for them. I just need to know their astrological sign because it just helps me tap into their energy a little better. Okay. Door to personal healing and happiness. So this is, let me see, the Energy Oracle card deck. They're very pretty. So again, we have the number 34. So another 3 could be a 4, 7, or 34. So, again, this is just tapping into your inner nature, understanding your emotions, understanding what matters to you, really thinking through, your timeline, past and future and present, mostly that's the most important of all is the present, because it'll affect how everything how you take the lessons from the past and move forward. But this is you'll see a rainbow, you see a dove. I'm just taking a look at things that are standing out to me in this art. And, I see a beautiful lake. Again, we have, I bet you there's some pollywogs in that lake, in that pond. I think there's even I think it's a peacock, So, just do you. This is a just do you card. And nobody can define happiness and personal healing for you but you. You can have, everybody's like, okay, what about therapists and psychologists and doctors and all these things? Well, I'm talking about like mental healing and emotional happiness. Yes, you can use someone like me or a therapist or somebody to help you guide the conversation so you understand and can control and organize and push forward your goals and thoughts and actions on how to get here. But I mean, it really is all about you and your unique path and your style and the way you get there. So I think this is a really great card to kick us off with, because it just means that, for those that who have good intent and really want to, move forward in a positive way and to have good things come into their life, it's gonna happen. Okay. I'm getting all tingly for some reason. My spirit guides are trying to tell me something. So I get a lot of energy. Like if I have a message that I think, when I say a message that I think somebody needs to hear, the entire top of my head gets tingly. I don't know how else to explain it, but maybe I'll create like a guide map to, my language with my spirit squad. If I get popular enough at some point, I'll be able to do, it'll be like bingo, you call out B12 and they'll be like, okay, that means that, if your ankle's itchy, that, someone's cousin's going to have a baby. Wouldn't that be awesome? Man, I know everything. Oh, speaking of that, I was asking everybody in my immediate circle who they knew who was pregnant and having a little boy. And everyone was like pretty much staying far away from me because all my friends are older. And they're like, please, no, not me. Anyway, I ended up, I just got a baby shower invite in the mail. It's my cousin's son he's newly married and they're pregnant and they're having a boy. So validation for me and relief for everyone in my circle that I've been talking about it to. But it's fun when you're right. I like the validation. I think that's a Scorpio thing too. I'm a Scorpio. We like to know stuff that other people don't, and then when it's validated, makes us happy. Okay, so I have the Knight of Swords in reverse, so upright. So a knight is a messenger. The sword energy is very fast-moving energy. It means truth. Air energy is, like I said, fast, furious energy. So something's coming in. It's going to be a message, something that it's just going to come out of nowhere. Whether you've been waiting for it or not, it's going to appear very quickly. This is a sword of truth. So, what else I'm thinking of is, the suit of swords also has to deal. It also deals with the internet, with communications. It could be an email. It could be a text. It could be anything online. Anything online also, for me is symbolized in the suit of swords. And then the Knight of Swords is somebody delivering that message rapidly. So let's clarify what that means. All right. So, all right, we have justice. So this could have to do with somebody so if it's about a person, another sword. So it could have something to do with someone who's in the legal field. It could be not necessarily somebody who deals with contracts, who pushes forward a lot of paperwork. So if you are if you're doing anything with legal contracts, you could be looking to buy a house. You could be selling a house. You could be signing on as a contractor for work. You could be getting a new job and having to sign paperwork. You could be going, so any, you see, you catch my drift, but everything is on the up and up because you have the balance of the scales here and the sword of truth. So normally things done, things that are represented by the justice card. And then again, we have a number 11. So 11 or 1 or 2, if you add them. Yeah, I have a feeling like I'm getting a bit like a big sigh of relief, like things go through and they're fair and they are done correctly. And you can move forward because this contract has been executed successfully, quickly. So maybe if you're selling something or if you're looking to buy something or anything that has to do with contracts and you're a little nervous about it, it's going to, the answer will come in fast and furious and it will go through successfully and be done correctly. So I'm going to pull some more cards and we'll see where the story is going. Check the chat. Oh boy. I have to be careful. Like, I think I just need to look for questions. If I start to read the chat, I just start laughing and get distracted. Okay. So what this contract is about. So there might, like I said, this is the card. It's the 5 of Cups. So cups equal emotions. We have a guy, or a person looking down. That's like a bleak backdrop. Everything's gray. There's a lot of water in the background. So that could be, sad emotion. You have 3 cups that have tipped over and all the water that was in them is on the ground. It even looks like there's something red there, but so that could, in this old timey art could be, grieving a death or grieving something that, that really, meant a lot to you. There is 2 still standing behind this person who's grieving and disappointed. If they were to turn around, they could see the hope in that. But the focus is on the 3 that have fallen. So this is the energy that sort of supports this contract. So I would just say, and then I can't take my eyes off this, this building in the background. It's like looks like a sort of like a crumbled castle, something like that. So I would say that if the focus is on something in the past, something that you no longer have, that's gone, and can't get it back, it seems like a pretty finite thing. There is hope. You turn around. There's definitely other options available to you. It's just you have to change your mindset as to like what's, if you focus on lack. So they always say that with the law of abundance, that if you're focusing on lack and you're focusing on what you don't have, that energy. It's like a gray cloud. I'm sure you've heard that. Oh, that person's energy is like a gray cloud. Well, lack attracts lack. So if you're constantly walking around and thinking about and complaining about and worrying about and talking about what you don't have or what you don't have anymore or what you're missing or what someone else has and you don't, then that's the energy that will constantly surround you. So if you were to turn around and be like, wow, I have 2 huge cups filled with the best thing ever. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to invest it and it's going to multiply and I'm going to have more than I ever had before. Well, it's a different mindset. So that's a different energy. And that's an energy of abundance or the law of abundance in a way. And wow, I have so much water in these cups. You act as if you have everything you need, or you don't act. You're supposed to act. You're supposed to walk in it, walk in the energy that you've just got everything you need. And then everything you do need is attracted to that. So that's the supporting energy there. And then I did get I got a judgment card. So this one's pretty funny. So this is the angel, giving judgment over it. This art is supposed to symbolize like, being at the pearly gates and then you receiving your judgment if you go to heaven or hell. These were done in 1908. So not a lot of, I don't know. It's pretty funny. So the number is 20. So or 2 or 20. and then judgment. So this isn't good or bad. This is a karmic judgment. So meaning that exactly that. So we were just talking about energy, like walking in lack, you attract lack. Walking in abundance, you attract abundance. What do they say? Attitude of gratitude. So with the judgment card, no matter if you walk in lack or you walk in abundance, this is an is what it is card. It's karmic. So at the day of reckoning, if you have been a shitty person your entire life, then you will probably not be going through those pearly gates, right? If you've been a great person, then things will work for you. But this is my law of abundance card. So I mean, I'll get off the soapbox about that, but this is really just another card that is telling me the importance of it. In order to get what you want, you have to know your heart and you have to walk in the right energy to attract what you need. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get some detail. All right. Okay. So a decision has been made. This is the Two of Swords. And see how this person is blindfolded? This normally means that they're at a crossroads. They don't, know which way to go. It's not my meh card or the I don't care card. It's just it's a card of really being indecisive, having two paths to choose and not knowing what to decide or which way to go. A lot of emotion in the background and a lot of desert. So, so rocks or mountains always for me equal obstacles. So just a lot of little obstacles, a couple of big rocks. In the past there have been bigger mountains, but because of the perspective, they're in the background, but they're there. The moon energy is also very vague, very, ambiguous, not really clear. But we did receive this. And then the Roman numerals look like an 11 to me. So I do like that card. I pay attention to it anyway. But in reverse, the decision's been made. You don't have, that's in the past. You're moving forward with clarity. So again, whatever that contract is for, in the right energy. So if you've adopted the right energy and you move forward, move forward with that attitude of gratitude and knowing that you're going to take 2 cups and you're going to turn them into, you're going to double, triple, quadruple, invest in those 2 cups that are still there and, have more than you've ever had before. Everything will work out. I'm going to get a final card. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have, this is the 8 of Cups. So now we had those 5 cups. We had 3 that were tipped over and 2 upright. So this card in general means walking away from something that no longer suits you. So I would say that with the reading, using the cards that came before it, again, we have the moon, but we also have the sun. So this is like an eclipse energy, sort of okay, I think eclipse energy is understanding what you need to get rid of in your energy field so you can move forward and have better days. So that's what this means. This person is walking away from things that no longer serve them. So for me, that's walking away from the energy that just created more lack. So do you see that in doing so, they've multiplied their cups that are upright, filled with, whatever liquid they think is awesome. If it's, emotional well-being, great. If it's, wine, that's its symbols of, abundance. So, I do see with a change of heart and staying in the right frame of mind and understanding that energy attracts energy, you're going to move forward. You're going to just leave what did not work in the past. You're going to surrender it and you're going to go forward and you're going to be really successful. And every time I'm also picking up that, every time you look at a mountain, it'll be a reminder of an obstacle that you've overcome. And you can see other people struggling with the same thing you struggled with before you sort of understood how energy worked. And then you're going to be able to help going, you're going to be a coach going forward. You're going to be able to help others understand. Okay. So I love this card. It's a 9. No, I'm sorry. It's a 4. Duh. Okay. So a 4, and then you'll see the 11. This is called the 1111 card as well, but you'll see the 4 wands. So this is fire energy, but this is celebrations, marriages, like big commitment, big material commitments, but ones that you celebrate as a symbol of achievement. So marriage, a new home, a community, church, any sort of like celebratory ceremony that the entire community would be a part of and everybody would be just thrilled that's happening. So for me, like if I were to think about this like in a personal tone, it would be that I've just finished my master's degree. So, and then, we're going to celebrate as a family and a community. And so that's my 4 of wands. But for you, for whoever's viewing this, think about what is the biggest accomplishment that you could, that you see in your future that you're aiming for, that will be a success and be celebrated because it's coming. So I see success for all of us that have learned to identify walking in that attitude of gratitude, really attracting abundance, being able to look at the things that we're